Hi all, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have a terrifying story to share with you out of Oahu, Hawaii, where a doctor planned a beautiful hiking trip on a scenic trail for his wife's birthday. But what his wife didn't know, as she packed for her wonderful birthday trip, was that their hike would not end with a lovely birthday celebration. As a matter of fact, if it was up to her husband, it would end with her death. Dr. Gerhard Koenig, a 46-year-old anesthesiologist from Pittsburgh, and his wife, 36-year-old Ariel Koenig, moved to Maui with their young children and lived there for a number of years before Ariel told police her husband started becoming controlling. She said he became suspicious that she was having an affair and accused her of doing so. So they started going to marriage counseling to try to work through their problems. But according to the couple's housekeeper, who claims to also be a close friend of Ariel's, the couple seemed happy and loving, and you could feel the love in their home. So when Ariel told her Gerhard was planning a trip for just the two of them to spend her birthday hiking in Oahu without the kids, she didn't think anything strange about it. Neither did Ariel. Until the couple arrived at the trail, and Gerhard wanted her to take a photo with him, very close to the edge of the trail where there was a very steep drop-off into the ocean. Ariel said she didn't feel comfortable so close to the drop-off, so she told Gerhardt she didn't want to take the photo, and she started to walk away. What she told police happened next is absolutely terrifying. She told them Gerhard grabbed her and began pushing her toward the cliff's edge, yelling at her, telling her to get back over there, and that he was so effing sick of her. She said she fought back, because if he had pushed her over the cliff, she would likely have died. So he grabbed her and pushed her into some bushes, where she fell to the ground, and her husband picked up a rock and started bashing her in the head and face with it. So she began screaming for help, that her husband was trying to unalive her, and he pulled 2 syringes out of his bag and tried to inject her with an unknown substance. Ariel said as she fought, 2 people heard her screaming and rushed to help her, and she was able to break free from Gerhardt and crawl to them. She said the witnesses called for help as Gerhardt ran into the brush, leading police on a 6-hour manhunt before he was eventually captured later that day. Police said while he was on the run, Gerhardt FaceTimed his adult son from his previous marriage while still covered in Ariel's blood to tell him he tried to unalive her, but that she got away. Ariel was transported to the hospital in serious condition, with laceration wounds to her head and her face, and other injuries from the attack. But she survived, and she was able to tell her story in an application for a restraining order against Gerhardt, where she stated in part, I am married to Gerhard Koenig. We reside on the island of Maui. We have 2 young children. In December 2024, Gerhard accused me of having an affair, which led to extreme jealousy on his part. Since then, he's attempted to control and monitor all my communications. We've been participating in both couples and individual therapy and counseling. In March 2025, Gerhard planned a trip to Oahu to celebrate my birthday. On Sunday, March 23, 2025, we traveled to Oahu and stayed in a hotel in Waikiki, while our children remained in Maui with our nanny and family. On Monday, March 24th, 2025, Gerhardt suggested we go on a hike at the Nuuanu Pali Lookout. Sorry if I just butchered that. The trail includes narrow ridge sections with steep drop-offs on both sides. During the hike, I became uneasy and informed Gerhardt that I did not want to continue. Gerhardt hiked a little further and then came back to get me. I climbed a tree so Gerhardt could take a picture of me. Gerhardt was holding my phone and my hiking bag. I climbed down from the tree, and Gerhardt suggested that we take a photograph near the edge of a cliff with a steep drop. We took a selfie near the cliff edge. I asked him to move so I could move away from the cliff because I was feeling dizzy. Gerhardt moved, and I walked down the trail to him. When I got close to Gerhardt grabbed me by my upper arms and started pushing me back towards the cliff's edge. He was yelling something to the effect of, "Get back over there, I'm so effing sick of you," and continued to push me. At first, I thought he was joking, but I quickly realized he was seriously trying to make me fall off the cliff. I threw myself to the ground in a direction away from the cliff, and Gerhardt got on top of me, wrestling with me. I was screaming and pleading with him to stop, asking him to think about our children. If I had fallen off the cliff, I would have likely died.
This morning, a Maui doctor behind bars charged with the attempted murder of his wife.
The court will confirm bail at $5 million.
Gerhardt and Ariel Koenig were hiking the scenic Palipuka Trail near Honolulu on Monday. According to the court documents, Koenig's wife, Ariel, told authorities he wanted to take a selfie with her close to the edge of the cliff, but she felt uncomfortable being so close to the trail's 1,000-foot drop-off to the ocean. The documents say when she refused, he pushed her into the bushes and they began to struggle. The documents say he picked up a rock and struck her in the head approximately 10 times and slammed her face into the ground. The court documents say she called for help, saying, "He's trying to kill me," before Koenig allegedly pulled 2 syringes from his bag and tried to inject her with an unknown substance. His wife Ariel was then able to crawl over to 2 witnesses. Dr. Koenig, an anesthesiologist, then fled into the park. But Ariel Koenig survived the alleged attack and was taken to a hospital in critical condition with injuries to her face and head. Police putting out this bolo for him, saying Koenig was wanted for attempted murder, and after a 6-hour manhunt and chase, Koenig finally taken into custody after a brief foot pursuit. Now the 46-year-old behind bars awaiting a preliminary hearing set for next week.
Thank you.
The doctor had worked as an independent contractor at Maui Health until this week. Maui Health saying in a statement, Dr. Koenig's medical staff privileges at Maui Memorial Medical Center have been suspended pending investigation. Now, Koenig will be back in court on Monday, and under Hawaii law, he could face life in prison with the possibility of parole if convicted. It's also possible that prosecutors could add to the charges as they build their case against him, but so far he has not entered a plea. Matt Gutman, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Tonight, chilling new details in the investigation into a Maui doctor accused of trying to kill his wife at a popular tourist destination. 46-year-old anesthesiologist Gerhard Koenig appearing in court Thursday, charged with attempted murder after allegedly trying to push his wife off a cliff and striking her in the head multiple times with a rock. Police say the attack happened around 10 a.m. on Monday when the couple was visiting the Puli Lookout just outside Honolulu. According to court documents, the struggle started when 36-year-old Ariel Koenig refused to take a selfie with her husband near the edge of the lookout. She told police he then struck her 10 times in the head with a rock, grabbed her hair and smashed her face in the ground before grabbing 2 syringes and trying to use them on her, according to the documents. Police say witnesses heard Ariel cry for help and say, "He's trying to kill me. He's hitting me in the head with a rock." Honolulu police say they arrested Koenig later that day after a brief chase on foot. We reached out to his lawyer but have not heard back. Ariel remains hospitalized with multiple injuries to the head and face, according to Honolulu PD.
Never in a million years would I think that this would happen.
Housekeeper and friend of the Koenig family, Christina Ferguson, shocked by the news.
It's hard to fathom. It's hard to grasp the severity of this tragic incident. I wouldn't think that this would be something that he would ever do.
Marquise Francis joins us now. Marquise, we've just learned that Koenig has been indicted by a grand jury. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Allison, I mean, the Oahu grand jury said this indictment reflects, quote, the serious nature of the crime that is alleged in this case. And according to the grand jury bench warrant, Koenig, in this case, he's been ordered not to come within 500 feet of his wife, who we now know Ariel filed a restraining order against him yesterday. And previously, the judge had a $5 million bailout, and now he no longer has bail. The police investigation continues, including into the cause. Ellison?
Tonight, KDKA's Shelley Bort spoke with a housekeeper who says she never saw this coming.
The once prominent doctor here at UPMC stood before a judge in Hawaii to hear the charges against him. Tonight, the family's housekeeper is speaking out after learning the horrifying details of the alleged attack at the hands of someone she considered a friend.
And it's a shock, just complete shock. This would never, ever be something that I would think that would take place.
Gerhard Koenig stared at the floor during his first court appearance Thursday, accused of attacking and trying to push his wife off a cliff. In recently released court documents obtained by KDKA-TV, new details are coming to light that are hard for housekeeper and friend of the couple, Christina Ferguson, to fathom.
They were always polite and loving to each other. They were always kind, and you never saw any anger. Never even saw anybody being upset. I think she's wonderful. I absolutely adore her. She's just so kind and smart and compassionate, loving. I would think he's a great dad. Just the kids adore him. They love him. I even say he, up until this point, he was a great husband.
Ferguson saw the family just a few days before the alleged attack. She tells KDKA-TV the couple was talking about taking that day trip to Oahu for Ariel's birthday. Knowing now what happened on that hiking trip, Ferguson can't help but wonder if the attack was planned.
My message to her, I'm here for whatever you need.
Those who knew the Koenigs are trying to wrap their heads around what happened.
Jim Beniza continues their coverage.
Ariel Koenig's friend and housekeeper says she still can't believe this happened.
Nobody could have imagined that this would ever happen. To me, it's out of character because I never would have suspected this behavior of this magnitude from this family. When you walk into their home, you felt the happiness, you felt the love and in the atmosphere, and like I said, it's just shocking.
She says she was at the couple's Maui home last week, and Gerhard seemed normal.
He was actually there last week when I was there, and had a brief conversation. Hi, how are you? How's it going? That kind of thing, and just he was bebopping around the house. Doing family things, and wouldn't think anything of it.
She describes Ariel as soft-spoken and generous.
She's the kind of person I would like to be. She is a very kind and endearing person. Between the two of them, they had two little ones, and I know for sure he has an older son from his previous marriage.
Ferguson says her last update on Ariel's condition was 2 days ago.
I heard that she had gotten some stitches, and she was not in a good state, but that she was going to pull through, and so that's good.
She has this message to share with her friend.
There are a lot of people that love her and are praying for her, and if she needs anything, just reach out. We're here for her, definitely.
According to police, attempted murder suspect Gerhard Koenig is in custody. Police say that the suspect was captured around 6:15 after a brief foot pursuit, and they blocked off both roads leading to the Pali Lookout during the hours-long manhunt, and they remain posted here.
Police canvassed the Pali Lookout and Nu'uanu area during the hours-long search that started around noon on Monday. Police say Koenig tried to push his wife off of a hiking trail on the Pali and then attacked her with a rock. According to police, she was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Koenig is a doctor who lives on Maui. In a statement, Maui Health says Koenig has been suspended from the medical staff pending investigation. They say Dr. Koenig is employed by an independent entity contracted to provide medical services at various medical facilities on Maui, including Maui Memorial Medical Center. Maui Health takes these concerns and the safety of its patients very seriously and will cooperate with authorities as appropriate.
Tonight we're learning just a little bit more about Gerhard Koenig, the former UPMC doctor and University of Pittsburgh professor who has been arrested after allegedly not only attempting to push his wife off of a cliff, but striking her in the head with an object, all while on a hike in Hawaii. Koenig and his wife, originally from the Pittsburgh area, moved to Maui years ago. UPMC did confirm that he was an anesthesiologist, but hasn't been employed here for about 2 years. We've also learned that he was a professor of anesthesiology at the University of Pittsburgh from a bio that was on the university's website. Maui Health, where Koenig was employed as an anesthesiologist, releasing a statement saying in part, quote, "We have been made aware of the allegations against Gerhard Koenig. Dr. Koenig has been suspended from the medical staff pending investigation. Dr. Koenig is employed by an independent entity contracted to provide medical services at various medical facilities on Maui, including Maui Memorial Medical Center." Now we're told that his wife was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Our ABC affiliate in Honolulu reports she has multiple facial and head injuries. In Oakland, Yasmin Rodriguez, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
In this petition for a temporary restraining order against her husband, 36-year-old Ariel Koenig claims her spouse, 46-year-old anesthesiologist Gerhard Koenig, accused her of having an affair, adding the theory led to extreme jealousy on his part. Since then, he has attempted to control and monitor all of my communications. Attorney Michael Green says prosecutors have to prove Koenig intended to kill Ariel, and while they do not have to prove motive, they may want to point to one.
Motive. Why would the accused want to kill his wife in this case? And when you read the declaration in the TRO, she says why. She says why he was angry.
The appeal adds Ariel and Koenig took a trip to Oahu to celebrate her birthday, and while on a popular hike, he allegedly tried to push her off the trail, beat her with a rock, and tried to inject her with 2 syringes containing unknown liquids. Green adds the state could try to recover the syringes as evidence.
They don't need the syringes to do it, to prove anything. But if the syringes are part of the puzzle, circumstantial evidence, why would somebody be carrying syringes going up the Poly Lookout, and what was in the syringes?
Ariel also claims in the petition that Koenig FaceTimed his son and admitted to the alleged attack, saying, "I just tried to kill Ari, but she got away," and then told the son he wanted to kill himself by jumping off a cliff.
The CRO will be irrelevant other than it gives the accused and his lawyer a sense of what this woman will testify to at a trial and probably at a grand jury.
We reached out to Koenig's attorney and were told they're not commenting on the case. Aali Iduklo, Island News.
We reached out to Koenig's wife's attorney for a statement. Now, he replied back saying Ariel is focusing on her recovery at home in Maui with the support of her family. She kindly asked that the media and the public respect their privacy during this time.
So, the good doctor, who appeared to have paradise on the surface, brought it all crashing down, for not only himself, but for his wife, who will now live in fear, and for his young children, who will have to try to understand that their dad, who was probably their hero, was really just a monster under the facade. I'll be praying that Ariel makes a full recovery, physically, because I know she never will mentally. And I hope her monster stays locked up for the rest of his days, so his family can live in peace. It just goes to show that what you see on the surface isn't always the truth behind the scenes. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Don't go hiking if someone invites you. And I'll see you on my next video.